Hello guys, how you guys doing? I hope you're having a blessed and a wonderful midweek. I just want to say a special good day to you wherever you are. Be grateful to God. You are in the land of the living. Be grateful that He has given you an opportunity to demonstrate love. And my heart is heavy because everything I listen to, everything that I see is as a poor demonstration where we have a lack of love in our hearts, one towards another. And the world is going down a slippery slope. Our communities, our homes, institutions are just going downwards because we don't have the respect for human life. We don't have respect for each other. We don't value each other. We don't value the breath of life that God has given us, so that we can see that which one of us can beat our hands on our chest and say, yes, I have arrived. I'm better than this person. Let me just say to you today, especially to parents, let us examine ourselves and examine the fact that God has given you an opportunity. And that opportunity is not an opportunity to form the fool with and take it for granted. But it's an opportunity for you to recognize the importance of that breath of life and what it is to demonstrate love, what it is to work in harmony with the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, for the mere reason that He has given you an opportunity. Some of us, our priority are so out of place, out of touch. How can your child appear, or your child to you or to many parents is like your child is like your God? Can you love your child more than God does? The answer is no. Did you die for your child? No. Why are we as people not disciplining our children? The stabbing that takes place left, right, and center, even in the United Kingdom, and even more so what is happening back home in St.Lucia, in Dominica, in Martinique, in Barbados. There's so much going on in the region, and by extension the world, with what is happening. But what will save us? What is going to unite us, people, is when we come together. We put our differences aside. We recognize that we are nothing. We recognize it is only by God's grace and by God's mercy that we are standing here. You wake up this morning not because you have $1 million in your bank account, not because you were able to pay your bill, not because you have food on your table, not because you have the nicest clothes to wear, the brand clothes, the brand shoes, the brand bag. You are not standing here by any of these things, but it is only by God's grace and by God's mercy. When will we understand the importance of demonstrating love one to another, not by words? God is not calling you to love your neighbor, love your husband, love your child just in words, but He's calling us to love each other with action, to demonstrate it. What will it take from you just to place a call to see how a friend is doing? What will it take from you to go and visit a widow? What is going to take from you so much that you have food in the abundance in your house and to go and just share food with somebody? Why are we not seeing that we are in the last days? And because I speak to you does not mean that I am the most, or if at all, because many times sometimes we don't embrace the message, we want to target the messenger. But me being here doesn't mean that I am any better than you. I have recognized that we need God. I recognize without Him I wouldn't be here this morning. Without Him I wouldn't even be able to make a life this morning. I just want to encourage somebody today. Let us stand united as a people and demonstrating God's love, demonstrating, a greater appreciation for human life. Let us stop the hate. Let us stop the bullying. Let us stop using social media to bring down, to destroy, to insult, and to disrespect people. Our children are listening. Our children are watching. Social media will never forget your face nor what you speak on social media. No. Once it's on social media, it is a record for life. My dear friends, I want to say to you today, we can make a difference. We can make a difference by asking God that heart of stone to replace it with a heart of flesh. Ask Him to create in you a clean heart and renew a right spirit within you. Let us show love one to another. Simply because the man did not give you, or the woman did not give you what you've been asking for. You hate her to the extent that you want to see she die. You hate her to the extent, or him, to the extent that you will say anything to bring him down, to destroy him. Where are we going as a society? Where are we going as a people? So much hate talk on social media. So much hate talk in the community. If we cannot speak something that positive, something that is going to uplift, something that's going to encourage, exhort somebody to transform their life, give them an opportunity to stop, think. Why are we doing this? Why is it we cannot, speak words that would elevate, words that will transform people in a positive way? Why there's so much negative energy? And the energy filter from the top coming down, The lies, and I call it the unnecessary lies. And sometimes we wonder what is happening to the spiritual community, the leaders, the church leaders. You hardly hear them coming out in social media, on television, on the radio to denounce a lot of the things that are happening, especially in St.Lucia. Is it because you want concession from the government and you feel if you speak against the government, then you're not going to get concession for your church, for equipment and what have you? I'm just saying, what is it that is preventing you to denounce and to call the Prime Minister to check? Because I heard the Prime Minister was in a press conference, questions was asked of him, and he said he know nothing about IMPACS. He have not seen the report and what have you. And he was in a soil turning ceremony in Grosile for the new police station. And he's just started speaking about IMPACS. So I was shocked because I said, not the same prime minister who said that he knew nothing about IMPACS, and now that same prime minister, without any journalist ask him questions, he is now speaking about IMPACS. Where are we going? Mr. Prime Minister, make up your mind and speak so that the people that elect your government, that they will understand you, they will have confidence in you, because you will be speaking from a place where you are informed, you know what you're talking about, and you do not give the people of St. Lucia this double standard approach. Our leaders have to get it right. This is why our young people are behaving the way that they are behaving. When the Prime Minister speaks, you don't know why. People always talking, and the people always saying, oh, there is crime happening in St. Lucia, there is this happening. But the Prime Minister forget, he is the same one who said to the people that to go to their faces and tell them that they lose. That was the Prime Minister's statement. So where are we going? How can we unify our country if our leaders cannot get it right? Every time a mic is placed in front of their mouths, they just speak a whole bunch of rubbish, things that does not make sense, that create more hate, that create more division in the country. And this needs to stop. You didn't know nothing about IMPACS. A journalist asks you. The world sees you. The world listens to you. I don't know if the Prime Minister thinks when he said these things only in St. Lucia, or only the people at the time that hear whatever he has to say. Yes, so the Prime Minister can come in and said, yeah, he want to end IMPACS. Yeah, I'm not going to say he didn't say it. The question is, and one of the things that we get wrong is the last administration, if you really have to look at the governance of the last term, COVID took away 2 years. So probably a lot of things that you probably wanted to do, because of COVID, it set a lot of things backwards. A lot of things that you may have wanted to achieve, you could not have achieved it. And even this present Prime Minister is saying that he is not making any promises that he is going to actually solve. And it's not the Prime Minister's place to solve IMPACS. The Prime Minister can only give the tools to the DPP office, and the DPP office is going to do what they have to do. And we have to understand that IMPACS, where it started from, how did we land where we are there today, and we shouldn't play just because we're supporting one party or another, that we don't. And that is our problem in St. Lucia, you know. That's why we could never go forward. Because our problem in St. Lucia is that we refuse to call a spade a spade. We refuse to call a spade a spade. If the spade is black, say it is black, regardless whoever is holding the spade. Brother man, whatever Chasney did or did not do for the 5 years, the people have judged him. And likewise, Philip J Pierre said to Alan Chasney that 5 years is not 40 years. So, Philip J Pierre will also be judged. And as a matter of fact, Philip J Pierre already has judged his own self. Why I said that? Not too long ago, he said in a press conference, or he was addressing some people, and he said he loved the people of St. Lucia because they always do the right thing. They change a government every 5 years. So he already admitting that come the next election, they will vote him out. That's not my saying, not my words. It is Philip J Pierre's own words that will come back to nip him in the butt. So I am saying that we need to stop the hate talk. We need to bring our people together. The people in the radio stations, they need to speak truth to the citizens of this country, and the politicians need to stop spewing violence in their speech so that we can unify the country. How we expect the young people to do the right thing when those at the top not doing the right things? How is it gonna work, my brother? It cannot work that way. So the Prime Minister who spoke about accountability, let me say something to you, bro. Peters, let me say something to you. Do you know if that cabinet we have there now was in the United Kingdom, governing the United Kingdom, a lot of those cabinet members would not even be in the parliament. You know why? Because, hey, as long as you mislead the people just once, that's it for you. Boris Johnson was Prime Minister of this country, you know. And because during COVID, just for party, just a party Boris Johnson had, what happened? Is he still Prime Minister today? No, he's gone. The woman after him that came in, I forget her name at the moment. What happened to her? She misled the people. Gone. So, integrity in this country matters. And this is what small island state like ours, we need integrity. We need politicians that they will speak the truth to the people. On one hand, you cannot tell the public of St. Lucia you don't know nothing about something. It don't even take you a month yet. It didn't take him 2 weeks, you know. The same Prime Minister that said he know nothing about something, without anybody asking him any question, he now telling you everything about the same thing that he didn't know nothing about. How? And we have young people who listen to these guys. You know? We have people that listen to them. And by extension, the world listen to them. And they need to stop the division in the country. Stop the division and bring the people together. Speak things that is going to build and not divide. Words that are going to encourage and not discourage. You, as a Prime Minister, you need to behave like a statesman, and you need to unify the country because you're the Prime Minister for every St. Lucian. Every St. Lucian. You have an opportunity to encourage the policemen. You have an opportunity to let the policemen know that you will give them all the support and you will do all in your power as Prime Minister to make resources available and to bear patience with your administration as you try to get these things implemented. You're talking about a subject that no one asked you about. A subject you say you know nothing about. People, we have to call a spade a spade. Whether it's Alan Shastney, whether it's Kenny Anthony, whether it's Richard Frederick, whether it's Stephenson King, whoever it is, when it is wrong, we have to say it is wrong. Because that's the only way our country will be stronger. That's the only way our country can be united. It cannot be only when one government is in power, we all have voices. And then when another government is in power, what is wrong now become right. And what become right, no! This has to stop. And let me tell you, I think St. Lucia is at a point, which other government, whichever party that form the next government, they're not going to have it easy because the people of St. Lucia will demand a greater level of accountability from them. Because our young people, they need proper leadership. Our young people need leaders who can stand for something. I mean, I don't want to get too much deep into, although politics is my passion, I love politics and I love my God. Because every decision you do, the Bible says there's nothing new underneath the sun. So there was politics and governance back in Jesus' time. So there will always be politics. And there will always be God. You have to know how to distinct and to differentiate the two, but they are important. And simply because you're a Christian does not mean you're not. Some people say, oh, because you're a Christian, you're not supposed to involve in politics. Really? Any opportunity you get to involve in the governance and in the shaping of the country as a child of God, make that contribution. But do it with integrity, do it with God's love, and do it truthfully. So I heard Richard Frederick said on his program that Steve is also admitting that Guy Joseph gave Steve a bribe of 5 million. So here is my issue about this. If something like that happened in the UK, first, the Prime Minister would have fired that, or should, let me put it correctly, should fire that Minister of Government. How did Stephenson King allow Guy Joseph to run a next election knowing that that same minister gave you a bribe? Does that make sense, guys? No, somebody tell me in the chat room. Do you believe that makes sense? You the Prime Minister, you the boss, you the one that runs the show, and this person has broke the rules of the code of conduct. That person have broken the code of conduct that's supposed to, as a minister, as a parliamentarian, you have broken the rules of engagement in terms of how you're supposed to carry yourself. And you telling me, as a prime minister, Guy Joseph gave you a bribe. He gave you a bribe. Allegedly, he gave you a bribe. And you now did not fire him. You did not report it to the police. You took no action. And mind you, people, we are talking between 2006 to 2011. Between 2006 and 2011. 2006 to 2011. That allegedly, you said, happened. So why is it as Prime Minister? So that means Stephenson King have no integrity. Stephenson King should not even be in cabinet. Far less be an MP. That's my opinion. My opinion. Because if you have to look at the facts for what they are saying, not me said it. I'm only repeating. Hey, Garfield, how you doing, my brother? I only repeating what was said allegedly that Guy Joseph gave Richard and gave. You got a bribe. You were the Minister of Finance, Prime Minister. You don't fire Guy. You allow him to still run the 2011 election. Yeah? Why? You were the one who said that you were most readied Prime Minister of St. Lucia. So if you are the most readied, why is it you cannot love St. Lucia? This is the question I need you to ask yourself. Are you doing the right thing? Doing the right thing. Years ago, you made that statement. Or maybe almost 3 years ago, thereabout, you made the statement. Use to the people and allowed unity to reign in St. Lucia. It have to start from the top. Start from the top. Every country and do what is right. We need our young people off the streets. We need more jobs. We need more foreign direct investment. We need, and the Bible speaks about when you see the leaders, read the books of Proverbs, understand why we are facing what we are facing today. Because when leaders are not obedient, call